Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are excited to have Coach Cottrell back here joining us, helping you unlock your full potential and achieve that success that you so deserve. And we're excited to have him back here from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, to talk more about Limitless Leads coaching, all he does. And Jamaal, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me back. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
It's a pleasure to have you here again. Please, you're a licensed coach, certified DISC consultant, certified benchmark and interview consultant, and corporate etiquette and protocol consultant. I mean, whew, I'm out of breath. Tell us about yourself for those that may not know. Military background. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, I'm a disc consultant. I also spend a little time dibbling and dabbling with event consulting.
Mm-hmm.
Attended the Protocol School of Washington some years back, and got some great experience out of that, and try to pass that along. And just doing some coaching now, and helping people transform into the best version of themselves.
All right. And how can we find you?
You can find me on realorlive.org. And you can also find me on social media platforms, Trailblaze. And you can also send me an email at atfc at realorlive.org.
Well, thank you so much. Pleasure to have you back here for today. And I know a little bit for what you want to discuss is about establishing those positive habits in your life, right? But never an easy task. How do you start off? What's number one on our list?
Oh, wow. So where do you start? So we're building those positive habits, in your daily life. You got to start with building blocks and routines. Um, Simple as that, having good routines, and that can influence the direction that your life is going to take. Everything in life takes repetition, so the routines, having the good habits and doing them over and over and over again, that's a good launching point for that. And some of the
Mm,
other things you can do is by having positive habits, making sure that you have positive habits. They say practice makes perfect, which practice makes permanent, not necessarily perfect, because if it's not necessarily a good routine or a habit, you just continue to do it over and over again.
but you got to start small, little,
Absolutely.
little baby steps, right? Is that
Absolutely.
what we say?
Yeah, absolutely. Crawl, walk, and run. I think if you follow that process, you should be good to go.
All right, so you start off with a little bit of a goal or two, and what do? You write it down. How do how do you set this all up? Is there like an email system? Is there an app? What's the best way to get everything in order? Even though we're starting small, are we writing it down? Are we putting it on our phone? How does that part work?
And I think that right, it'll be subjective to the individual. Some people old school like to have that pen in their hand and that piece of paper, that pen and the pad, some nice, music in the background, set the vibe, and just kind of start journaling. Just kind of let it flow. And if you also, you like to use that electronic device, keeping up with technology and tech, then find one of those nice apps that, or one of those things that you can speak into the phone, and maybe that also may help out as well because you're talking
Yeah.
not necessarily to another person, but you can talk into your phone or your electronic device, and it can take notes for you. So that's a great start as well.
All right. Now you mentioned setting realistic goals. So what are realistic goals compared to non-realistic goals?
Well, goals that are achievable, obtainable. You want to make sure that you break down your habit forming process into small, like we mentioned, small achievable steps. The realistic goals help you maintain motivation and track your progress effectively. So, um, can I can I help out 10 people, or can I focus on helping out one person? You
Yeah.
focus on that realistic goal, helping out that one person, and maybe even starting with yourself. And then I think you can kind of go from there, take a few notes, things that worked and didn't work, and again, practice that routine all over again, self-evaluate, and
Mm-hmm.
keep doing that continuous process.
And you mentioned routine. You have to create a routine to start, correct?
Absolutely. Just like if you're on a road trip, and you want to get to that place, and you say you have 15 to 20 minutes, kind of that routine that you practice in the morning, where it's getting up, washing your face, using left hand and right hand, and both coming together to wash the face, and then grabbing your shoes and heading out the door. Whatever your routine is, you want to kind of work on that. So incorporate that and make it seem natural, seamless as a part
Hmm.
of your day is basically what we're saying. And then consistency is the key to solidifying that habit, especially with routines.
Well, you mentioned the morning, good for routines, and also good for the miracle Monday. Thank you. So this is a
I didn't.
book that Coach Trell sent me, and I have not got to read it yet. Except I started reading. I cannot believe how many forwards there are. Everybody praising this book and the benefits of this. So hold on, it's the not so obvious secret guaranteed to transform your life before 8 a.m. from Hal Elrod, and I just cannot believe it. Over 2 million copies sold, and this is awesome. So you should start waking up to your full potential every day. And it starts in the morning. You're a firm believer in that. Once I read the book, I kind of know that. I just have been avoiding it, but I cannot
Right.
wait to dive into this. Tell me more about the book and tell me how this inspired you.
Well, and I was hoping that you had confirmed with me that you had received the book, and
Yeah,
then that
I'm
way
just
we could
not
have
good
kind
at
of
writing
talked
back
about some
emails.
key
I get all
points.
your emails though. I write back there, never do. I'm like, I'll just surprise them.
There you go. That's crazy. But well, you said when you received the book, you heard nothing but good things and reviews about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And if you read all of them, oh my gosh, the first thing on my calendar each day is my miracle morning routine. Sean Stevenson, a best-selling author. There's so many strategists. There's so many people who are just talking about this. The mindset mentor, JP Sears, the comedian. I mean, so many business owners and celebrities. Not just them, but regular people too. But
Yeah,
I mean, people are swearing by it.
absolutely. And I don't want to, give any spoiler alerts. And
Oh,
hopefully, once you start to read it, maybe we can link back up and kind of discuss maybe a chapter or two, and kind of maybe, who
yes.
knows, that may be some things to do. But that was great. I'm glad you received that book.
Thank you very much. But speaking of routine, it was the perfect segue because
Absolutely.
you find, tell me your routine. You're getting up early. Do you believe most people are going to excel in the morning if they get up early and commit to?
I do. I do believe that most people will excel. Again, the first thing is the commitment, right?
Yeah.
So like it kind of says, one of the things is the miracle evening. Optimize your bedtime and sleep and wake up every day feeling refreshed and energized.
Hmm.
So one of those things is that's what I try to I try to do is, make sure I have a plan, I follow that plan, and make sure I try to get everything accomplished. That way at the end of the day, I can just allow time to re-energize and refocus. And then that way I know I'm set to get up in the morning. That's kind of like my goal and my objective is to get to sleep and wake up by that time that I set, or maybe even a few minutes ahead of time, which can probably cause anxiety. So you don't want to do that. But just wake up a little bit earlier and then just kind of focus on that. And that's my routine is I kind of stick to the script of going to bed early, waking up
Yep.
early, and executing my day. So it depends on what the day. I may not have a lot going on that day. So even say Saturday, most days, Saturdays, some people may try to sleep in. For me, I still try to stay on schedule, stay on routine, wake up, and maybe do something accomplished that early morning of Saturday while the birds are chirping and other folks are still sleeping in. So, like they say, the early bird gets the worm.
It's so true, and I think Einstein lived by this, right? The earlier, a lot of our geniuses and a lot of successful people all claim that it's that, yeah, that early morning worm. You got to get up early to get it.
Absolutely.
Um, it's true.
Absolutely.
All right, Jamal, Coach Trout, what else is here on tap for today? We're talking about again positive habits and to achieve that mindset and to start these positive habits to achieve that perfect mindful approach. Now, what about the accountability factor?
Absolutely. So, being accountable, like for you, and to say, for instance, you not necessarily replying to your emails. Hey, I followed up, ask you a question. Did you receive that book? You said, absolutely. I received the information, forgot to check my draft emails. And again, just that
That was true.
accountability
Well,
piece.
and that's also not the only email I have on my phone is my personal AOL. I don't keep work emails on my cell phone. So it's that I'm only in front of my work computer for work. And then as I'm getting emails for the day, oh yeah, I read, and then I keep going and going. So I never really respond to those emails. So I apologize. But again, that's just who I am when it comes to that. So don't take it personally, please. But,
Oh, not
and
by any means.
yeah, I'm good for it. I promise. So yeah, yeah, if it was my personal, I'd get it back quicker, but no, this is perfect. I'm
Nothing
so
wrong with
glad you
that. A lot of
sent
people
it.
separate, church and state, work and personal life. So there's nothing wrong with that. But just again, tapping into that accountability piece, right, or staying
Yeah.
accountable. So for me, just because I use that as an example, because I mentioned it, mentioned that I wanted to try to get a copy of it to you. Maybe it can help you out. And then it wasn't able to come into fruition as soon as I had hoped. So just being accountable by constantly asking the question. So just using that as an example.
Perfect. Well,
And then
thank
another
you.
way to do it is to share goals with your friends, family members, or a mentor or a coach like me, and who can support and hold you accountable. Accountability can help you stay on track and also help you stay motivated. So, that's why that's important as far as those routines.
Ah, all right. Next up on our list after accountability is drumroll.
Well, you can self care. We talked
Yeah.
about that a couple times as well. So self care, you want to make sure you prioritize your self care, and ensure that you have the energy and the mindset. And some things you want to do in prioritizing that self care is making sure that something simple is drinking water throughout the day. The humidity's picking up, the weather's picking up, so you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. And stay hydrated, that should be able to help you, as far as with your energy resources and your levels and then your mindset to help cultivate more positive habits. So try to stay hydrated, try to keep you going throughout the day, just incorporating small things that could probably help you as far as for something as simple as, maintaining that energy level and that positivity.
Mm.
And also eating, because that's why, some people say they get hangry. So those are just some things that you want to keep into account. You know what I mean? Small things as far as taking care of your self care is taking care of yourself.
Oh my
And
God.
practices like that help you stay mindful. Exercising, sun's out, the guns are out, and making sure that nutrition can strengthen your resolve and your resilience, which is important, often overlooked.
Awesome. Now, what about people are listening today, want to know more about, working with you because again, I know there's a lot to you as a certified life coach and so much more. Tell me
Hmm.
how you're working with people. What are they coming to you for? Give us some examples of the things that people are wanting to achieve. What are some of their goals? How are you helping them? Like, is it work? Is it personal? Is it a relationship? All the
So I
above?
just, oh, kind of all of the above. So recently, working with a few corporate companies, and some of the things that they wanted some extra tips on is how to effectively communicate. Certain we're in a climate now where the hybrid schedule and the hybrid setting has become predominantly wanted, or that's what the workforce is looking for. Either work from home or to have a hybrid setting. Not a lot of folks are looking to go back into the office. So a lot of questions is how do we work on communicating, team building, and also leadership development within the hybrid setting. And so that's something that we Limitless Leads Coaching is looking into doing is streamlining some processes to help a few companies with that. And the communication piece is the tricky piece because
Hmm.
remote settings, some people may be, in different countries. Some people may be, local. It just depends on what the situation is. So that's something that we're helping companies with is how to communicate effectively in the hybrid work setting.
All right. And tell us how we can reach you. Would you mind sharing all forms of contact?
Absolutely. You can reach me at realorlive.org. You can also reach me at ATFC at realorlive.org. And you can find me on Minnect. There's a new website that I've just recently
Oh,
signed
what
up
is it?
for. Minnect, Minnect.
Oh, I never
It's
heard of it.
yeah, they just so what they say is you take a minute to connect, so they combine the two into Minnect. Kind of a play on words.
I'm
So,
going
so
on it now. Hold on. As we're talking, I want to see this. I'm the neck. I never heard of
okay,
this. Oh, cool, cool.
yeah,
Oh, get
absolutely.
expert advice instantly. Connect one to one with the people you admire the most to get the answers you need. Find an expert. Become an expert. Oh, wow. I never
Yeah,
heard of
absolutely.
this.
So yeah, that's the thing. Again about that technology. There's something new every other day coming out
Cool.
to kind of reach out for people on these platforms. So it's ways for people to get help if they want.
And it's an app, right?
Absolutely. It's an app, and it's something that's taking off really quickly. And basically, you can just get on there, find someone you want to ask a question to. They have celebrities on there, regular people like myself, just, coaches to help folks out. Anybody that can provide some type of expert advice.
Sweet. Awesome. I love learning something new. And what else happens for Coach Trell? What else did you want to share for today? I mean, we kind of went through the steps to, of course, achieving the goals that we want and how that could be beneficial. But is there anything else in particular that you want to make sure that we share? Whether it's a client experience, a story, like I just heard, you talk about businesses. Ah, you're helping businesses as well, not just individuals, which is good. But there's a lot to you. Give it to me, Biz.
Absolutely. So one of the things another group that I just recently joined was one of my veteran groups. It's
Oh,
called
well, can you
Hundo.
share that? Tell us about your some new time listeners.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a Hundo. It's a veterans group. They just recently became a 501c, so they're working on some different things. And basically, we're just finding ways to give back to veterans out there that need help, finding ways to help cope and deal with some of the issues, whether it's PTSD, just a sense of loneliness, belongingness, and camaraderie, different things of that nature that most veterans still seem out there that they can use a lot of. So, um, doing a lot of work here locally in San Antonio as well with some of the veteran leagues, and also with some of the um, middle schools upcoming at the end of this week as well. That we'll be doing some professional development courses with as well,
But why
and
are you
that's
so
going to be an
passionate
exciting
about
time.
helping veterans?
Well, because I am a veteran, after serving
Yay!
20 years in the world's greatest United States Air
Tell
Force,
me, tell us, tell us.
so my I am
So
too as a
modest.
disabled veteran, and my company is also a disabled veteran company. So we like to give back and help out, a helping hand to other veterans that are out there in need. So any way that we can, any veteran can contact us for a free consultation, and we'll be willing to sit down and try to help them with any information that they need and kind of point them in the right direction as well.
Hmm. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, but you're so modest. I'm trying to lead you into
Sorry.
military background, but I'm like, maybe he doesn't want to share it. I'm like, but no, because there's new timers coming on in, so they're like, who's this guy? Oh yeah. Oh, really?
Absolutely,
Veteran too?
absolutely.
So thank you for that. And so tell me about now. You also hire. You work with veterans too.
So yes, we work with veterans, other veteran organizations. So there's a lot of veterans out
Sorry
there
about
that
that.
are,
Never shut my
oh, no
phone.
worries. They're out there trying to start something new, a new footing. A lot of entrepreneurial veterans out there, and so we're just collaborating with other veterans to help other folks. We have the VFW, the Foreign Veterans Affairs, but we also just trying to provide other platforms out there as well, so that way we can find a way to give back. And, San Antonio's, typically labeled as military city. A lot of military folks out here, so a lot of room for networking and advancing out here in this area as well.
Hmm. I love it. And what area are you in? Where are you from again?
I'm from Chicago, but I'm currently in San Antonio, Texas. Retired out here in Texas in 2017 and made this my new home and loving it every minute of
Looks too
it.
young to say the word retired, but come on, that's awesome. No, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, and how many years now have you been in the coaching business, Goran? Where did you get the certification from? Just curious, and who inspired you to get into this? I mean, you were always kind of that way, from what I remember you telling me, right? A leader,
Absolutely.
obviously, but
So, yes, I got my coaching certification through the Maxwell Leadership Certified Team.
hmm
And that team, they've done a lot of work with the Department of Defense and with veterans.
yeah.
And so, with the experience of working with them throughout my career, I just felt it was only kind of right to, stick with the brand that you know. And that brand was Maxwell Leadership Certified Team. And so I got my certification through them and started my company and have been going strong now for a little over 6 years.
And what would you say, and your love, your joy of coaching, what brings you the most joy from the job you're doing now?
The most joy, I would say, would be the transformation process. From the moment you receive someone and they ask for a coaching consultation, and just sitting down with them and kind of remembering who they were when they first started and watching the development process. That's the most enjoyable moment is. But sometimes people don't think that they have it in them, and sometimes all they need is someone to help them uh, know where to look and where to find it. And that's what I kind of find joy in doing is helping people know how to to find that inside of themselves to be the best version of themselves.
Hmm. And was there ever a time in your life that you needed a coach? You needed someone to kind of help pick you up?
Yeah, actually, I did. It was about a year and a half ago. Actually, I was going through some things. I had went back to work as a contractor for the government, and just had some issues myself with dealing with PTSD. And one thing as a veteran, you're always told to kind of push forward, move on, and embrace the suck. And you just kind of get used to doing that for so long, and just realizing that you don't have to do it alone anymore. And once you identify that and you find somebody to be able to share those experiences with, and it just makes a difference. It definitely changes. And then not only that is it kind of makes it hard for you to to go around and tell people to believe in you and trust in you how you want to help them, and then to not have experienced it yourself. And I think that's definitely something that's worth benefiting.
Hmm. All right. Well, Coach Trail, tell me the story of this book. Why do you think it's important, even for your people that you're coaching? There's also the Miracle Evening, the Miracle Life.
Yes.
There's a lot. So it's not just for morning people, but it's they, but it's the concept and the principle. What's inside this book? It kind of taught you, gave you insight to. Could you just share?
Yeah, absolutely. So I found out the book from a single mother. We were having a conversation, and she was expressing some of the issues and concerns that she was having with following up and with accountability, and that she had read a great book and it had motivated her and gave her the strength to pretty much to persevere through the things that she was going through. But then she needed something more. It was like the book was a great launching point. It was like, hey, this will help you get where you want to be. It gives you routines, right? Gives you the consistency, gives you checklists, gives you all these things to get you fired up to kind of and become the best version of that person you want to be. But then, what else are you going to do with it? And that's where I had kind of met
Mhm.
this person and I was coaching this person, and they had shared that information with the book, and I thought, oh wow, that sounds pretty powerful. So not only are we kind of saying the same things and believing the same things, this person found this book on their own. Let me get a copy of this book. Let me look at the book, and then let me add this to my resources. One of the things you learn about is having a toolbox, and like they say, is you can't use a hammer for every tool, right? So being able to talk to single parents or single moms. Uh, I was like, well, this seems like something I should definitely add to my toolbox in case I'm having a conversation with someone
Mhm.
and they seem to be going through the same things as this individual is going through. So, everything's a teachable moment. So I learned something in that moment, took that, and I was able to pay it forward by giving that to, numerous clients over a couple of years of, working with them. And then I still contact that individual to say, hey, look, I still appreciate that one time when you give
Aw.
me education on that book. So that way it helps me continue to go forward in my journey and things that I want to do to, continue to better myself as well.
Oh, well, thank you. And you're continuing to better those. If someone's interested in working with you, you offer initial discovery call.
Absolutely. You can do the discovery call or the discovery email, or go to my website at realorlive.org. There's an option at the bottom of the page. Click free consultation. Input your data. It'll contact me, and then I'll contact you as soon as possible. And let's get working on
All right.
getting
Remind us how
everything
we can
started.
contact you. There's so many different ways now, even more.
There it is. Absolutely. We can focus on the website, realorlive.org. And you can call me if you want, 210-724-4474. And I would definitely look forward to being able to help as many people as I can.
As always. Well, thank you so much. And the name of the other website we can find you at is Minnect, like connect, right?
Connect.
Yep.
Absolutely. It takes a minute to connect.
Minnect.
So,
Got it.
yes,
Uh-huh.
ma'am. You
And then what's
can
the
find me
best
on there.
website?
The best website would be the realorlive.org. If you go onto that site at the
Yep.
bottom of the page, it has options for Bark. You can click
Mm-hmm.
on that and it'll automatically redirect you to another site. And as well as Experts Connect, the expert session should be at the bottom as well. And you can copy that link and put that into the browser, and then that should be able to point you into the right direction.
All right. Anything going on this week of importance that you want to share with us?
Absolutely. I'll be working over at the middle school on Wednesday,
Oh,
doing
good.
professional development with with some teachers, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade. We'll be doing professional development courses with them. It's the end of the year, but it's always a good time for learning. So catch them at the beginning of the year, the end of the year, the middle of the year, whenever we can. Just try to take advantage of an opportunity and get some training in.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here. We are excited to have you back as always, always well prepared, so thorough. And thanks for inspiring us today. I hope people reach out and can take advantage of the work that you do and in a positive way, because it's time for us to get what we want out of life. And not everybody knows how to achieve this alone. Most people don't ever do it alone, right? Any
Right.
successful person out there, I'm trying to think. Everyone always credits someone, right? I never heard anyone say,
Absolutely.
I did it because I'm so great and because I made it happen. No, everyone, yeah, you need someone. So you need someone to
Right.
hold your hand. Thank you so much, Trell.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Thank you again. And to all of our listeners, we will be back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.